Hello everybody, Wishbone8121 here, and welcome to Tutorials of Excellence. In this video we're going to be finishing off Array 2 here with our wither-powered industrial complex. Just to, I guess, recap, we got our playerless tree farm here. This can be built with its own bone meal farm that's attached. This bone meal farm will turn itself on and off as needed. This playerless tree farm runs as long as you are in sim distance, but you're going to want to turn it off when you leave because unloading this while it is running is, causes problems. These pistons might fail to fire, or this will fail to shoot the wither. It's just a mess if you unload it. If you keep it loaded properly, it will work just fine. Next, we've got our Basalt and Cobblestone farm that we built in part 2. Where the Cobblestone and Basalt can run at the same time. And over here you've got your concrete converter that you put your shulker box there, and it goes in this dropper, and then you just stand here and put concrete in, and every time you put 4 concrete in, this thing shoots you 4 more. So basically you just fill up your inventory, and then you just keep checking and you just keep placing concrete. This keeps giving you more, and you never need to touch your inventory. You just sit there and keep placing. So you can do it pretty mindlessly, or if you have a little bit of skill with script, then you can make a script that will do that for you on a computer anyway. So today we are going to be adding a moss farm. So basically we're adding a switch over here. You flip that switch, it turns off the basalt farm. And then you turn the cobblestone farm back on, and instead of a normal cobblestone farm, you're going to be getting a bunch of moss. And I ran this just for a few minutes, but from what it looks like is that while this is running, you're going to be getting 250 cobblestone per minute, 210 moss blocks per minute, 82 moss carpets, and then 15 azalea bushes and 15 flowering azalea bushes, and about 20 seeds. That's all in 1 minute, each minute. So this thing makes stuff, pretty fast. Yeah, I didn't have a lot of bone meal storage, just a double chest. You could fit more maybe, but it's good enough. Well, 1 double chest on both sides because it's running on both sides. And the redstone is not that bad. It looks like a mess. I didn't bother to try to make it look pretty. This is an industrial complex. The whole thing's gonna look ugly, which is fine by me. Yeah. So before we get into it, I do want to go over a couple things. There was a problem I noticed with the farm, so I released a video fixing it. Right here, this redstone line here. It used to be going into the dispenser here. It needs to drop down 1 block and go into this dropper. That way, this redstone line is not powering this dropper. Because before, this redstone line was powering this dropper, but this repeater was also powering this dropper, and they're out of phase with each other, which meant this dropper was just being powered 100% of the time. So basically, it was never actually shooting anything. So it was causing this farm to be a little bit slower than it should have been. Next, with the wither cage, if you want to look at my last video on fixing the tree farm or revisions, I did learn that Navy Nexus has built a wither cage that uses less bedrock. So if you have not built this yet, and you are just watching these videos thinking about doing it and you haven't yet, Navy Nexus's bedrock cage only takes 30 bedrock blocks, and then you're going to want another maybe 10 or 15 just to put it in places to increase your ability to get drops. And then lastly, I had problems with the tree farm recently because this thing every once in a while runs out of snowballs, or at least the old version did. So I switched from what it was before, which was that the same line that powered the dispenser was also powering this piston, and that was not working because every once in a while it would eventually run out of snowballs, which is really bad. If the tree farm is running and it doesn't have a snowball to shoot, the whole tree farm breaks. This part breaks, and then this thing backs up, and this thing backs up, and then the slime honey piston in the back breaks, and you have to rip it out and build the whole thing again. So it's not the whole farm, but you need to rip out the honey slime piston in the back and rebuild it and put it back in. So it's a big pain in the butt. So what we're gonna do is I switched what it was before to this takes the output of the hopper that's in there, and it compares it to this hopper, which is almost full. So when that hopper in there is completely full, this thing fires and turns off the clock. When the hopper is not completely full, this clock turns on, and every 8 game ticks, it tells the piston to move back and forth and makes another snowball. So that's how that works. As you can see, it is sometimes running and sometimes not, and yeah, works great. Basically keeps this thing full forever. So I will be showing you how to make that. And yes, here's our, if you just want to see our little moss thing working here, this is how I got this working. So, you know, I only worked on it maybe an hour and a half or so. So it is functioning. It might not be the best moss farm in the entire world, or it might, you know, just because it is with a wither, and because this is now a 5-in-1 farm, this is it's pretty easy to put in. We already have a lot of the infrastructure here, and it's worth it to just add this moss farm in here because it's not that much more difficult to put in. And thank you to Butcher from the Technical Bedrock Archive for giving me the idea to add this into the farm. And now we will get right into it. But first, I'm going to turn off this one, and boom, there we go. All right, excellent. And now I'm composting to see if it's worth composting. But honestly, so far it looks like no, not really. But I'll let you know. All right, yeah, definitely not worth it. That's from like 9 stacks of bone meal. So obviously this farm is not really designed for making bone meal, though it does make a decent amount of moss stuff pretty fast. So there you go. Okie dokie, so let's get started over here. That's just gonna be redstone dust. We're gonna switch this with a repeater. This is gonna be a solid block. That repeater will still power the dropper by hard powering that block. We're going to drop this down here and here, and actually we will drop down back basically through here. All right, now we're going to run some glass in the place of what was there before, and we're actually going to move it in a little bit here. And one more. There we go. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. Perfect. I don't need that one. All right, excellent. Now it's working. And we're going to take a comparator output here. There we go. Excellent. It's lit up, so there must be something in there. There is a little bit in there. Okay. We're going to put this in subtract mode with another comparator going into that from a dummy hopper. Put the dummy hopper here, I guess. All right, and we're going to fill that with some random stuff. So let's clean up my inventory here a little bit. And we'll just use some bone meal. So boom, 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 boom. We'll put almost full, so it's just less than full, into a, actually we'll just make it into redstone dust. That will work here. Let's go into redstone dust, and we're going to turn that into a clock here. So redstone repeater, going back, we'll just do a, I think that's an 8 game tick clock. I don't know, I'm just learning this stuff myself. There we go. So when this is full, it will power this and turn off the clock. Yeah, and then when this hopper is not full, this hopper comparator will prevent this from firing, so the clock will be on. So that's how that works. Then we will. Well, actually, we'll just make this out of glass here. This, and boom, 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 boom. There we go. Let's see if this is working. Yep, it's working. Perfect. Now it's full. Now it's off. Excellent. So that will make sure that this tree farm no longer breaks by running out of snowballs. Okay, cool. Let's move on to the basalt farm. All right, first thing with the basalt farm is we need to change how the off switch works. So we're gonna get some solid blocks out and put 3 and 4 there. Break those 2. And we're gonna put torches. And another torch, okay. The way this is gonna turn off is when this block is powered, this will keep the farm from running because this will power the farm off. When this is not powered, this will keep this off, and then the farm will be on, okay? So powering this block turns it off. Leaving this block as is turns it on. All right, so let's do this. We'll have 2 lines coming out of it. And one from there. And that is already good. Break all this now because it's no longer necessary. And as you can see, it is still off. Perfect. And then this line will be coming from our circuitry that we're going to be building over here. And we will do that. We will do all that later. All right, next. In order to run the moss farm, what you have to do is you actually have to break all the basalt that's already there. It is what it is. It is necessary. Yeah. So whenever you want to run the moss farm, you have to come and manually break the basalt. There's no other way to go about it. And it's not that big a deal anyway. So, okay. Next, we will need a little bit of bedrock. I believe up to here. I think that there does not break. But anyway, like this. Okay, moss there. And we're going to place moss there. So they're kind of not quite across from each other. And then dispenser. Going up into the moss block. Perfect. And same thing on the other side. Dispenser going into the moss block. Perfect. And then we're going to do a dropper below the dispenser on both sides. Going up into the dispenser. There we go. And same thing over here. And some glass there. I might break that glass later if I don't need it, but for now we'll hold on to it. Perfect. All right. And we will add hoppers and chests to that later when we know everything that's going on. Let's get our piston out. One's going to be like that. Other one is going to be right behind here. And that we don't need. And there we go. That's the beginning of our moss farm. Then while we have our dispensers out here, we're going to put them here, 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 and here. All right, then we're going to make a couple adjustments here. First of all, we're going to move this repeater back a little bit, just so we have a little bit more breathing room in our circuitry back here. We're going to have to move this line just a little bit of ways. Actually, you know what? There we go, like this. Move that a little bit away from our dispenser over here. Then we're going to put a repeater into this. And you know what? Actually, we're going to move this back even further. There we go. Okay. All right. Okay. Got dust here. And dust there. And now that piston is connected. We're going to set this repeater to 2 ticks. There we go. And let's go ahead and drop this below here. Dust, dust, dust. Actually, doesn't need to come down this far. Till there. Okay. We don't need that. And same thing on this side. We need to set up this with a repeater here, set to 2 ticks. And then we need to get dust up to the piston. Okay. There we go. Actually, we'll make this a solid block here. And we'll just add a little bit of dust going up to that piston there. Perfect. Now we'll add our clock right here. This will be your, actually I think I run this at 16 game ticks. I think that's what I run it at. Perfect, just like that. And we will turn this off for now, just so it's not annoying us. Next, we are going to make our little hopper clock. So yeah, we don't need either of those. And we're gonna make it like this, and like this. Very good. Comparator out, dust, dust. Here's our, there we go. Hoppers into each other. And, nope. Come on, place it. Yeah, there we go. Hopefully, well, first time. That's because I'm so good. All right, there we go. Now we will put in 12 items. That's 10, 12. 12, perfect. Okay, good. Okay. Next, we need to have our master switch. Let's run a redstone line out of here. Boom, 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 all the way out here. We're going to put our master switch right here. There we go. Redstone repeater right into that. Another redstone repeater right into that. Perfect. Let's get our lever, and this will turn on the moss farm. And off. Powers it off. There we go. So when it is powered, it is off. Once you unpower it, the hopper clock will start running again, and so will the game tick clock. However, what's also cool about this is because there's a redstone torch on top of it with that block on top of that. When this moss farm is, that's not what I want. When this moss farm is on, this redstone line will be active, thereby turning off the basalt farm. However, if the moss farm is off, then the basalt farm can turn on. So right now, the moss farm is off, and the basalt farm is, I can turn it on. So there we go. Cool. But just to show you that the reverse is true, when I turn the moss farm on and then flick this switch, only the cobblestone is well. Oh, hang on. Let's put another repeater in there. There we go. So, like I said, when this is when this moss farm is on, this basalt farm automatically turns off. There we go. All right. Yep. So actually, with our clock, we're gonna run it at full speed. So there we go. We got our little hopper counter. This is going to be for the dispensers, and now we're going to hook that up. So, yeah, come over here. We will get some redstone on these dispensers, and we'll make the rest of the line here in a second. First of all, let's do this, and that should flash on. Yep, just momentarily. And that momentary flash is all we need. We're going to put that into a pulse extender here. So one comparator goes into a block, the other comparator goes the other way. Redstone does there. That is a pulse extender. Perfect. On top of the pulse extender, we will put a redstone torch. And then on top of that, an observer going into a block. Actually, you know what? We're going to go that into a sticky piston to a redstone block. There we go. Perfect. And then we will run our line here. And we'll just run this directly over the other one. Like I said, it's not the prettiest thing in the world, but it is what it is. And just the rest of it should be dust. Dust, 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 dust. Okay, so when this thing extends, yep, our dispensers dispense, and then they dispense a second time. will just real quick add in some glass walls here, just to make sure that we don't lose anything. And we'll actually make it over like this and like that. Boom, there we go. That should keep everything in nice and great. I'll make it that high just to be safe. And if things get ridiculous, you can always put some more bedrock on top of this to make a 2-high wall, but 1 high is probably going to be enough. All right, that looks pretty good. Oh, yes, this pulse extender, we're going to do 2 things. First of all, we are going to use that to dispense the water, but we don't need this. Let's turn this off for now. There we go, it's off. The pulse extender is also going to extend into here. And one more. Redstone dust and repeater. Okay, so while the pulse extender is going, the clock is going to be powered on. That way we stop bone mealing while the water's out. And let's just start throwing in some bone meal because I have some in my inventory. And then we are going to put in our water buckets. Boom, 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 boom. 1, 2, 3. And that's how you get to the center of a Tootsie Pop. Okay. I think that is everything. I guess we just need to, oh, hang on, just one more thing, is we will put in treasure chests and hoppers. Doop, doop, doop. Okay, yep, that one opens. Do the same thing on the other side. And is this hopper getting powered by anything? No, looks good. Okay. And we have room over here as well. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, perfect. I'll fill up these chests and be right back. All right, one last thing here. These pistons are actually going to be pushing carpets, the moss carpets, which are really annoying because they don't break if there's like a carpet underneath, which they grow really fast, so that happens. So across from each piston, we're going to use obsidian or any non-pushable block, which, you know, obsidian's one of the easiest ones to do. So there we go. We are ready to start this up. There we go. That should be going. And over here, we're going to turn the cobblestone farm on. And let's see how this goes. Well, that is interesting. I'm not sure what happened there, but two of these dispensers decided to shoot up buckets instead of getting the water up. Okay. Put a glass there. Yeah, I'll just go like this. Why not? Well, this looks pretty good. If we look at collection, you could replace a lot of these with ice, but it will get there. Nothing's getting permanently stuck. It's still all going down. It just goes really slowly right there. And yeah, there we go. that is our farm. Yeah, so far, this wither, he seems to be working just fine. Just in case you needed to see, this is Navy Nexus's wither cage. We are using a little bit of extra bedrock on the sides just to keep things from, keep items from getting caught. Yeah, see, if I break that bedrock, then items from this farm start getting caught on this here, so we will keep bedrock there. Yep. And same thing over here. There's not. Oh, actually, you know what? While this farm is running, I forgot. You want to break this wood here, and then the stuff will fall down into the hole. We'll just toss it down there like that. There we go. So while the cobblestone, basalt, or moss farm is running, you break the wood. While the wood farm is running, I think you want to break the stone as well. I think it goes both ways. Yeah, that is looking good. Let's go ahead and turn this off. The second I flip this switch, the basalt farm should engage. There we go, it is. Perfect. Now we are running basalt and cobblestone. That is pretty nice. Okay, excellent. And just to make sure this thing works, what's in here? Oh dear, every color. Ah, well, whatever. This is off now, right? Yep. Well, that's strange. That piston didn't go. Okay. Well, that's strange. Seems to be working now. And I can hear myself getting 4 items every time, so that works. All right. Next, that's obviously working, otherwise this wither would be full of stuff inside. Okey-dokey, and lastly, we will check to make sure our tree farm is going. Yep, still looks good in there. Oh, there we go. Yeah, we'll break these. Excellent. Ah, yes, and just put a water bucket there. That should help with collection a little bit. Well, everyone, this has been a fantastic array in my opinion. I am very, very proud of the work we did here. Not only did we get a tree farm running, which took us about 30 hours to figure out all that stuff and get it to work properly and not break every 15 seconds. And it does do 22 stacks an hour, fully AFK. Has its own attached bone meal farms. I didn't build them on this one, but they're over there on that one. It's 2 shifting floor mycelium farms. They're actually Silent Whisper's flower and fungus farm, except I heavily modified it so that it is a bone meal farm, and it fills itself up and then gives bone meal to the tree farm. If you want to build that farm for any bone meal project, you can check out my video from Array 1, Part 2, which shows how to direct connect it to a bamboo farm. But you can use that for pretty much anything. Also, in the tree farm video, I show how to hook it up to a dropper instead if you want to use a water line. We got our concrete converter, we got our basalt farm, cobblestone farm, also a moss farm, and a AFK tree farm. I think this is just completely stupendously excellent. I love it, and it was a lot of work, but in all honesty, it's pretty darn cool. Even this thing is cool, even though it's not that complicated. It looks cool anyway. I just love I love big ugly redstone everywhere. It is definitely my favorite, and yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. The next set of tutorials I'm going to be doing is has to do with well, let's say it's a wither skeleton farm complex. I'm going to show you how to put a I was going to do my own gold farm, but I think I'm just going to put a link to Navy Nexus's gold farm because I think his is pretty much the best you're going to do. I might show a tutorial on how to hook up item collection in a way that is good. So I might do an item collection video to go along with that. And then so we're going to have an overworld side with a gold farm, and I would suggest an iron farm trading hall with that. And then on the nether side, I'm going to show you how to have a wither skeleton farm that shares an AFK spot with a piglin bartering hall. And that uses only one piglin. And I'm going to show you how to make a piglin bartering hall. Well, really, it's just one piglin that can go through tens of thousands of ingots while AFK in just a few hours. So basically, you will run the gold farm overnight, one night, at the gold farm in the overworld, and then you just put the ingots into shulker boxes, carry them through the nether portal into the nether, which is going to be like right there, and you AFK at a wither skeleton farm with your sword out, and you click a button or a lever or something like that, and then while you're AFK overnight getting tons of wither skeleton skulls, a piglin is going to be trading until you're completely out of gold, and it go through thousands and thousands and thousands of ingots, tens of thousands in just one night. So that is what I'm going to be showing you guys how to do in the next array. Anyway, I really love this. I love. I built the tree farm. I built the basalt and cobblestone farm on my realm, my survival realm, and it is pretty cool. Now I didn't make it as good as this. It was just my prototype, so I had a couple things wrong, and I was able to learn from that to make this better for you guys. Anyway, it's been fun. This is Wishbone8121 here, and you guys have a nice evening. See ya.